Hot Tabrizi here in Fairfax, Virginia, on the campus of George Mason University, home of the Final Four George Mason Patriots. The fans are going crazy. The students are skipping class. They're watching the games again in the Johnson Center, and they're standing out in line outside in the bookstore trying to get shirts for the Final Four.
Well, I waited in line at first for an hour, and then I had to go back to class and then come back, and now I've been waiting for about 15 minutes.
I went to every single home game, from like the first home game to the last home game. I've been a huge fan, and to see them make it this far, I mean, it's great. It's amazing. I love them. So proud of them.
I think Mason's always been great, but now we're shining.
I'm glad that finally we're on the map thanks to the basketball team, and I hope that we bring it home. Go Mason!
Go Mason!
Woo! Check out this Final Four t-shirt sold here at the George Mason University bookstore for $18.98. You can also buy it on the website. Or you can be like every loyal fan and stand in line for a couple hours, skip class, and buy the shirt. So how crazy has it been in the bookstore?
For the past week, I think we've done more business than we have for the first part of the semester.
Well, being on the volleyball team and seeing these guys do real well, it's inspired us to play well. We just beat Penn State yesterday. The men's volleyball team did for the first time in 7-8 years. So it's helping the rest of the teams play well, and it's giving Mason a real good name.
So who's your favorite player on George Mason?
I think I would have to say Lamar Butler.
My favorite player is Sammy Hernandez, just because he's from Puerto Rico, just like me.
So what's it like getting an autograph from Sammy Hernandez?
It's awesome. I just told him that I quit my job for the game yesterday, which is true.
I'm here with Gabe Norwood. What did you feel after the game?
Man, to be honest, I couldn't feel a thing. You know, I was running all over the court looking for somebody to hug or high five or something. I wanted to cut down the nets ASAP. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Hopefully we'll get the nice tomahawk dunk on Florida.
Hopefully we'll finish it this time, you know. Missed the first one against UConn, but I'll get the next one.
Go Mason, you guys rock! No one thought we could make it to the Final Four, but go baby! Yeah! Woo! UConn, you suck!
The game was awesome. Camped out 20 hours in the field house for the tickets. It was definitely worth it. Worth every penny of the $130 for the 2 games. Had a blast with all my fellow students.
Well, we made these last night in our dorm room. We're getting all the players to sign it. We're kind of stalking them, not in a stalker way, but in a good way.
Since Coach Larinaga called our team Kryptonite because we beat UNC, who is supposedly Superman. So now we're known as the Kryptonite Kids.
I think the significance is definitely to get the attention on George Mason athletics and to bring the community in a little bit, because for so long no one was like, what's George Mason, or is that a real college? I know I'm from out of state and no one knows what George Mason is or where it is, so we're finally getting the attention we deserve, and we'll start bringing more school spirit back.
I think it's awesome for Mason. I think Mason deserves the attention and all the good publicity that comes with it.
I think it'll have a trickle-down effect upon the whole university. It's going to be every other athletic department is probably going to have money and all kinds of stuff going in for them. We're going to get better recruits, and hopefully it'll be good for the whole CAA as a whole, and we'll see.
Well, we made history this the last couple of weeks. Going against Michigan State, we made history with beating Michigan State, first ever win tournament at George Mason, and then making history by going to the Final Four. Unbelievable.
For the Final Four, I'm going to do the same thing I did. I'm not going to shave. I'm going to get together with a bunch of friends, just watch the game, and just let what happens, happens. That made me proud no matter what, so can't complain.
I think it's wonderful, and it's history in the making. And I say, go Mason, give us our glass slipper. Woohoo! Go Mason!
I'm standing here in front of the George Mason statue here with George Mason wearing his Kryptonite Kids shirt. That's right, Superman, we got our Kryptonite. Here he has his slipper. The slipper fits Go Mason, supporting George Mason, and the balloons and the colors. George Mason, NCAA champions? We'll find out.
What doesn't it do for the school? I mean, we are going to be on top of the Washington, D.C. area instead of Georgetowns and the George Washingtons and the Americans and the Marylands. It's going to be George Mason all the way, CAA conference. We're going to be representing Northern Virginia to the fullest and hopefully bringing more people to the area. George Mason will no longer be a second-choice school. It's going to be a first-choice school, and we're going to be sitting in the driver's seat.
It was awesome. Unbelievable Mason spirit. The students, the faculty, staff, the alumni, everyone who came out to support. It was gold all through the Verizon Center. The most amazing thing.
Looking at the bracket, we see George Mason against Michigan State in the first round in Dayton, Ohio. Everyone picked Michigan State to win the game just because they're a powerhouse. But George Mason, they win the game. Going on to the next round, second round, North Carolina, George Mason. Superman gets defeated with the kryptonite of George Mason. Going ahead, Sweet 16, George Mason, Wichita State. Well, the Verizon Center gave a little energy to the fans and to the players. George Mason went on, beat Wichita State. Then in the Elite Eight matchup versus Connecticut. That's right, Connecticut, the #1 team. We beat them in overtime. So now we're moving on to the Final Four. And hopefully, after Monday, we'll go ahead and put our name right here as national champion. I'm Tabrizi. Thank you.